History lesson with Mariana, Natalie, and Santos. Loud beaner music and loud kids in the background. Intro to discussion of muckrakers.
Wake up! God, you look ugly. But you know what isn't ugly? Zendaya. And you know what isn't ugly about Zendaya? Her personality. Just like how she fights against racism, you know? She hates it. Because she had backlash. You know that Spider-Man movie that came out? She had so much backlash because she was the girlfriend. And she's black. And so she got so much backlash that she had to like say something against it. But she's always been against it, you know?
Sorry, you say she's a muckraker?
Basically, she's a muckraker, you know? You know anyone similar like that?
Yeah. I know who else.
Who's that?
She's she you know what she did?
What?
She did a boycott with freaking African Americans because she believed in that.
Yours did a boycott too? Well, Zendaya didn't do it, but it was Martin Luther King. He was doing boycotts and he used like such like a big platform to get his message out about equality between two people. But it's kind of like cool because he wasn't selfish about it. He didn't say like African Americans are better. He said like we should be equal, you know?
Exactly, which is how it should be. And times have changed.
Honestly.
Luckily, there's people like them around.
If there wasn't, we would be a disaster by now.
Muckraker.
Who?
Her name was Betty White.
What did she do?
She did a lot. Without knowing she was a muckraker, she put a guy onto her video. It was very, very nice.
Why would she do that?
Because she was against racism when racism was high.
You mean a rice?
No.
I know another muckraker. You know that lady, Lisa McVeigh. Anyways, yeah, she's also a muckraker because she's also against like what's going on about, you know, I guess, how do I say this? I guess she's against people thinking just because one's opinion is important than others, that makes it okay. In her eyes, she went through a sexual trauma that made her have...
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Extra cut out information. Natalie thinks that Betty White is a muckraker because, during times when racism was huge, she added an African American to her show to show that she doesn't agree with racism. A modern-day muckraker is Angelina Jolie because she uses her Instagram to promote child rights in Afghanistan. Mariana thinks that Lisa McVeigh is a modern-day muckraker that stood up for females' rights and that shouldn't ever doubt what a female goes through. Her personal movie, Believe Me, was one of her way of her voice being used to stand up for those females who can't. She broke the stereotype that women can't find ways to stand up for themselves. Ending discussion of muckrakers and transitioning into Great Depression discussion.
Hey, I really like waffles. They're really good. I've been in the mood for them.
The Great Depression! You two wanna know about the Great Depression? It was scary. It was scary! It was so scary! You should have seen the pain, the economic dispute between everyone. I'm scared. You should be. It was caused all by the government. It was the government's fault! You're scared.
We actually think that the people freaking started it.
You stupid minors think you know everything.
Well, listen, think about it. The government wasn't being selfish in that time because, like, you know, if they're over here giving money to the people, it's because they thought the people needed it for what was going on. But the people were the ones who took advantage in that time.
Your voice annoys me. It was the government's fault.
Why was it the government's fault?
What do you think?
I think it's because they decided to be all nice and riffy-raffy with them, you know? So, like, why the hell would they do that? Like, it's not cool.
Because the people had, or the government people had humanity, and that's normal. People should have humanity till this day.
No, they
Don't
shouldn't.
you think that?
Nope.
So you think that we should be down into the same, or whatever idea you were living?
Hell yeah. You guys want to come live
You
with
think
me?
what you think, but we think what we think. I'm so sorry.
I'm going to follow you guys home.
Can you get out of my house now, please? Please?
Natalie was too scared to discuss with the crackhead, but here is what she had to say. She further believes that the people were at fault for taking advantage of the banks for loans, which caused the banks to crash. She thinks if she were president at the time, she would try to help both the people and the bank to get everyone back on their feet. Ending of the Great Depression, transitioning to the Great Recession.
Today, on the chair, we have
Poverty in America. Today, our discussion will be dun, 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 causes of the economy collapse of 2008. Home loans were given to people who should not have applied for them. For example, people without jobs. The bank then sold these loans on the stock market. Who is at fault? What are your reasons for believing that? If you were the president of the country during this time, would you use the resources of the government to help the people, the bank, both, or not at all? This is our first episode, exclusive with your host, Mariana. I will be in the chair, and our guest star, Santos.
You guys don't deserve my hair. Honestly, just me being here is like, it's just a waste of my time, you know? But I guess
Get on with it!
I'll answer your stupid questions.
We're bored!
Loser! Shut up. Okay.
You're gay because of that piercing.
Shut up.
No one likes your cursive!
Why would you say that? Okay, so what I would do is I would not help them at all. Like, they should have just, like, healed themselves, you know? Like, they did not deserve, like, the government's mercy. They should have just went and stood to rot. And maybe then they would get a better insight on what it really meant, you know? Episode 2 of The Chair. Bum, 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 bum.
We are going to start with poverty in America. Causes of the economic collapse of 2008. Home loans were given to people who should have not applied for them. For example, people without jobs. The bank then sold loans on the stock market. Who's at fault?
Why am I here?
Getting paid. Answer the question.
I guess if I'm getting paid, my answer should be the people. They're at fault because they took advantage of the government for giving them those loans. There, that's all I'm putting. That's all I'm saying. I better get paid good for this.
Cut!
I better be paid good for this.
Hey, you're fired.
Episode 3. We have the host on the chair today.
So, I work for the government and I don't even know why I'm here. I have responsibilities where I work, so please.
Okay, lady, you're getting paid for this. We literally pulled you off the
Okay,
street.
just ask the goddamn question.
Okay. Okay, so what we want to know is what you think the cause of the economic collapse of 2008 was. Do you think it was because of the banks or because of the people? And let's give you some background to it. So basically, home loans were given to people who should not have applied for them. For example, people without jobs. The banks then sold these loans on the stock market. So who do you think is at fault? The people or the bank?
Honestly, I think both. Because why would the bank, first of all, give money to people who might not even pay it off? Obviously, times are different now. But like, you know, a record exists for a reason. Now, the people as well, because why would the people get something they know they can't freaking pay off? That's irresponsible from their part. Anyways, I should go work at my government job. People are so rude.
If what Santos said is confusing, this is what he meant to say. The Great Recession was mainly caused by the bank, because the people who decided to give loans to the people who would never have been able to pay it back are at fault.
How to jump a cat. It's okay, Corey, it's okay. And his name is Corey, by the way. Here's Corey. 1, 2, and 3.
No cats were harmed in this video.